A victory light.
What's up? You know what I'm saying? This is Victory Light. It's your boy Kid Mero, the Human Direct Flap. Of course, I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Lizbel Ortiz, La Matatana, the super New York City, you know what I'm saying? The number one. Rainey, Ovalle, the Yap God, Rap God, you know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
He's outside, he's making content. Today we got a very special guest in the house.
Yes, we do.
This is a comedy podcast, and we all very funny people. So we have one of the funniest people in the world pull up today.
Yes, we do.
It's Mr. Kenan Thompson, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Come on, man, Saturday Night Live, you know what I'm saying? Been on TV, been doing this, been making us laugh for years. So jumping around, we was talking about kids before, and Father's Day, and you know, doing things for your kids, you know what I'm saying? Or children in general, not just your kids, kids in general.
Yeah.
You got the book, UNFUNNY Bunny.
Yes, let's go. Come on.
Yeah. It's pre-orders is live.
Funny, goddamn. Let's go.
Listen, you can go on the internet right now and pre-order it.
Yeah, that's right.
You can use a computer, like my kid does, to write me letters, or you can use it to pre-order UNFUNny Bunny right now.
Yeah. There's two different ways to use a computer.
Just two.
ChatGPT, UNFUNny Bunny. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
And Minesweeper also. You can play that.
That's a good one.
And also Italian brain rot.
Hate mine.
That's another one.
This is the Watchmen conversation right here. They're like, what are y'all talking about, bro?
Minesweeper, man. Yes, UNFUNny Bunny, man. I'm excited. It's my second book, which is what an honor to be able to say that.
Amazing.
You know, and it was the easiest, funniest thing in the world. You know, like we had an idea, probably based on like kind of personal experience or whatever, like putting yourself out there telling jokes, and when they don't land, you know what I'm saying, it can make you, start to question things or whatever, and like it's good to have friends to encourage you, and like that's kind of the story or whatever and stuff like that. But I love bad jokes, dad jokes, like all that. Like nothing funnier than a joke that doesn't work, number one, or just in general, like one of those roll your eye jokes.
Yeah.
I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes from such a genuine place, and usually those people that tell those jokes are some of the best people in the world. You know what I mean? It's the guy in the neighborhood that's picking up everybody's kids from soccer or whatever and dropping them off, making sure everybody's straight, barbecuing. You know what I mean? There are always those kind of people. So like I love, a good bad joke.
Yeah. There's such thing. I love it.
Just sitting there for a little bit too. Like just let it marinate.
And because they genuinely enjoy them.
Yeah. Dude, my youngest son has told me the same joke like 12 times, and he thinks it's incredible. He's like, Dad, what do you call a fly without wings? And then he goes, a walk. And he runs off. And I'm like, yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, yep.
That's so excited.
Yeah.
Hey, why would you want to strip that joke?
Yeah, of course.
Did your daughters help with anything in this book, inspiration-wise?
Yeah, I mean, looking at them go to school, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always like reliving school through their eyes, kind of thing, and just like right now I'm waiting to go pick them up, from school, and I'm always just like, so this is what everybody used to do when we were in school. Like everybody would just be out living life and then like checking the time and come back, kind of thing. And it's just wild to see the other perspective. So when we were writing classroom scenes and like what it's like to be bullied or made fun of or anything, I'm like I have them on my mind, because like they're experiencing that like in real time right now, which is, it's wild to see, because like no kid is immune to like the occasional being made fun of or embarrassing moment or even a moment that just didn't go as planned. So what do you do in those scenarios, kind of thing? So any kind of book that encourages kids to just continue or like anything like that, if that's what this book does for kids, like that's gonna be the ultimate. You know what I'm saying?
Are your kids funny? Because as a comedian,
Gotta be.
Okay, I was about to say, I was like, would you be crushed if they were not funny? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm funny as hell, bro. Like, I've been doing this since I'm 14, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even really a joke teller. I just enjoy, life and like, if a happy moment comes, I like laughing with people, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not just out to like pursue like the formula of writing a joke kind of shit. You know what I mean? I'm always just quoting some funny shit that I saw, kind of thing, or whatever. Like we used to quote "Coming to America" or whatever struck us funny as kids. So like, I wouldn't be mad if my kids didn't have that necessarily, because it's like not a specific gene for me. We just all like giggling, and I see that in them. They like to giggle and they're silly. So like, I'm happy for that.
Cause I'm like, cause my kids be like, so my oldest son, he's just starting to get funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, oh, this is,
The gene is activated.
Like, yo, it's happening. It's happening. Like, yo, say it again.
Say it.
Like,
What's
he'll
that?
show,
What's that?
yeah, what you say? Like, he'll send me a meme, and I'm like, oh, this shit hit.
Let's go.
This shit was funny, bro.
Yeah.
I understood this reference. Like,
Yeah, no, that's real comedic thing. And that's a comedic brain. Like, I'm an actor who happens to do a lot of funny shit. Like, I've always been the comedic relief and comic relief and things. But, you know, I grew up doing mad serious plays. Like, in high school, we wrote our own plays, and they were about, like, South Africa and, like, apartheid and, like, teenage and, like, all this other, like, super
You said high
deep-
school?
Yeah, in high school, bro.
you come off for
That's
doing
crazy.
You know what I mean? So I grew up like doing Nickelodeon and stuff like that, and then my hometown at the same time was real shit. It's College Park. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like real like issues going on with
Yeah.
like teenagers. It's not Nickelodeon in Orlando. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so like that dynamic. I don't know. I've always just had like myself to kind of like deal with these like. Am I going to be an actor or am I going to be a comedian kind of thing? You know what I'm saying? And then the common denominator was like, well, I'm just me at the end of the day always. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I don't necessarily do stand-up like that. So like, I don't overly consider myself to be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just, which gives me, I think, the calm to just be like, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can go there, we can get funny, we can, like, if we pounce on something that's making us die laughing, we'll, you know, dissect that thing for an hour, you know what I'm saying, and just continue that. And then at the same time, if, you know, a serious moment arises, then I can be intelligent enough to have a conversation that's intelligent or whatever, and that's smart or whatever, and further along conversations and all that kind of stuff. So I like being versatile like that. Like, a lot of stand-ups are hyper-focused on stand-up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
constructing, like you said, constructing the joke.
Yeah, or like being the guy that like has to like gather everybody around, like, you know what I mean? And if they're not getting that energy, they check out kind of shit. Like, you know what I mean? I never wanted to be that person.
Yeah, that's wild.
I'm not gonna lie, there are very few things I wouldn't do to read the Kenan Thompson Mandela biopic from high school.
Yes.
Bro,
I was just about to say that. I would love
with
to.
that because that's shout out to you for coming
And
to the
these were like shows that I didn't even really get a chance to perform like that. It was just like a lot of rehearsal time. Then I would have to leave and go shoot some shit or whatever, and they would perform when I was gone. So like, the one play we wrote was called Soweto. Soweto, a township is calling, which is like about a township and like the kids living there, kind of based off of Serafina, if y'all ever saw.
Yeah.
Bopa and like all these other like South Africa, like heavy stories.
Yeah.
And these are 16, 17-year-old kids, like, and musicals, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like,
stop.
They wrote,
Stop.
he
Yo.
wrote all the musicals,
Musical?
Oh my
Bro,
God.
all
Go
of
to
it.
Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Fighting tanks with rocks, like slow motion
Yeah, man,
on stage
wow.
moments, like getting shot.
Yeah.
Like they all get killed at the end, like going up against the fucking army type shit.
I would pay great money.
The
to see that.
illest, bro.
That's crazy.
Then I would run and go do fucking Pierre Escargot
Yeah.
or Super Duke. You know what I mean? So it's nice to be able to do both
Right.
and be aware. But like, man, if I was just a dramatic actor, that would be like a heavy existence. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Just like hyper focusing on heavy topics. Like,
See, now we gotta write the Hotel Rwanda musical. The three
Bro.
of us.
Yo.
The four of us. That's what we
illest.
gotta do. You know what I mean?
Yo, listen.
The Blood Diamond musical.
you know what I mean? Blood Diamond. The illest part about Blood Diamond is him holding that shit in his toes. You know that shit hurt.
Yeah.
Standing there all day.
You see the one drop of sweat coming down like,
Jimon Hansu singing like, "Look at me, what is
I
left?"
have to go to the restroom, please. Out my toe.
Oh, man. Watch that movie. I haven't seen it in that long.
Oh man.
22 seasons on SNL, man. You're the longest running cast member.
Yeah.
The 50th anniversary just happened recently. As for Dominican people at this table, are you aware of Sábado Gigante?
Yes.
Yes.
We did the Salvador Gigante sketch. Marcelo brought it back.
Yes.
And, like, played the host and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So being part of an institution like that, do you think that SNL is going to beat out Sábado Gigante is my question. Because Sábado did 53 years.
Did they?
Yeah, they got us.
They got him.
Yeah.
They got him.
They got him. Yeah, because dude is still there. You know what I'm saying? There was so much like mystery about like, is he gonna retire? Is he gonna do this? And he was like I'm just not gonna answer. And then once he did answer, he was like, no question. I'm just like coming back. Hey, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So when he's like in no question mode, I feel like he's gonna be there till,
forever.
And he's a wealthy man, so like he stays in good shape, he stays eating well, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure he's doctored up. So like he doesn't look like he's 3 years within the cognitive failure. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So like it's gonna go for a while.
He hit the
And
Leo.
then
Yeah.
That torch can easily get passed to a Tina or a Colin or myself or whatever kind of thing. You know, and it'll keep rolling.
Keep going.
He hit the Leo. I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
I'm not leaving. Yeah.
So speaking of stand-up, you say you don't put yourself in any type of box, but you did have a Las Vegas residency earlier this year.
These are showcases.
Okay. So it's a different show every time out.
Yeah, and it was other comics that were just giving platform to other comics, basically.
Gotcha.
So like I would host maybe the beginning of the run, and then they would run it for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I wouldn't necessarily be there. So it's more so just using my voice as a give back or springboard. But then, we've been doing that for years with my partner Cherie. And she's prolific at finding talent. She's been in the game for forever. Her mentor was Mary Lindsay, who discovered Steve Harvey and like pretty much anybody out of Chicago, basically, or out of the Midwest kind of thing. And that's what she did. That's one of her passions, and they still rolling to this day. I had to pull back because of this very situation where people think that these are my shows, you know what I'm saying? Because they see my name and my face, you know what I mean? They don't read the whole, it's Kenan Presents. They don't even read the presents part. They just see the Kenan part. Like, what's he even presenting? It better be himself. That's all I can. A lot of people, I would hear that kind of feedback regardless of if they enjoy the shows, which they usually do. You know what I mean? Like she picks, great lineups and like it's like, yes, they might be green, but like there's usually some really funny people along the way, and like by the end of the show, people they always have enjoyed themselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They looking up who they saw.
At the same time, like I don't do stand up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was always one of those things that's like it's kind of wrecking my day. The fact that I gotta go out there and like even if I gotta do 3 minutes, you know what I mean? It's just on my mind all day long. You know what I'm saying? Until it's done, and then I'm like, what was I even tripping about? But I can't flip the coin back and be like, all right, I'm gonna start the day without that stuff on my mind. It's just every time I've had to do a stand-up thing, like that's what's on my mind. More so probably because I don't practice it that often and it's not so second nature. So I'm just like, it's like a nervous production because I don't get that from like SNL at all. Like
that's to me that's crazy because this is like that's live TV.
And that shit is a cakewalk in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? But like that's because I do it and I have been doing it for so long.
Right. And wasn't all that also in front of a live audience? And Kenan and Kel was also in front of you literally like you certified for real. Like so
like, that's my lane. You know what I mean? Stand up, like I'm at the very beginning, I might as well be, going to open mic nights every single time I get up there kind of thing. Even though I've done hours, like I've done an hour at colleges for years. Yeah. But it's more so like just me telling my story as opposed to like joke formations or anything like that. Like I'm not John Mulaney. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Kenan.
It is Kenan. So you're telling stories and doing crowd work.
And it's cool.
Yeah.
Especially if like I used to do a Q&A, which I thought was exciting, but then I started noticing motherfuckers be leaving. Because it feels unprepared, you know what I'm saying?
Right, so like, yo, that's like, the mics for Q&A.
We're doing your show for you? Like, right. But anytime like I've done it all the way out, then that's a show. You know what I mean? It feels like, official. But yeah, no, I've always respected stand-up. You know what I mean? I loved it because I grew up watching Bill Cosby himself was the first one, and then Eddie, and then, going back and looking at Richard and shit like that, and then learning about Carla, Jim Carrey, anybody's time on stage, Damon Wayans, whoever like hit the stage and was doing it, and then they launched them into their career. Yeah. I've always had the utmost, Martin, Dave Chappelle, like super respect for all of it. I just have never had the time to like live that life to build up into like a real stand-up comic, so I don't necessarily consider myself that. You know what I mean?
I was like, yo, I'm sorry.
I didn't want that on you. That was for you.
That was it, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, that motherfucking fly, goddammit. I'm like, damn, Kenan gonna think we broke.
Goddammit.
Kenan gonna think we dusty out here, man. Get that fly, goddammit.
You could have done this in the wintertime.
This is a Karate Kid shit. Snatch that motherfucker out the air.
The fly was just like, Yeah, let me see if I can get some. Is that Kenan Thompson?
Yo, it's like,
What's up, my dude? What's up?
yeah, what's up, my guy?
The fly was like, oh shit, yo, Kenan Thompson, pa, yo.
Oh, what's good, Poppy?
Oh, Papi, I remember
man.
you all down, Papi, that's good.
Man.
Oh, that's my guy right there. Yo, Kenan, yo, can you do like the repair? No, that was the other guy.
That was the other guy.
No, that was his
Bro,
problem,
bro.
bro.
Bro, you embarrassing us.
on,
Why you
man.
violate like that, bro? Come on, pa.
Yeah.
Two crackhead flies.
Sleep. Wake up, man.
Bro, what are you talking about?
You only got
Come
like
on, Kenan,
another
yo.
2 days to live, man. You sleeping.
Yeah. You hit him. Yo,
Bro, I got 12 hours left, bro.
Come on, man.
Come on, stop.
yo, you ever these are the experiences that fucking like keep us, you know what I'm saying? Like that we relate to each other about. Like speaking of like falling asleep, you ever turn your grandma's TV off and she wake up?
Right up.
Yeah, and she wake up, cut that
I was
shit
watching
back
that
on.
shit.
I was watching that.
shit. Come on, stop.
It's our noise machine. Before
Yeah.
noise machines came out, it would like, cause that's how I sleep. And like when I find I wake up and the TV has turned itself off, and like depending on how much I'm waking up, like I could be up for a while now that I notice that there's silence. You know what I'm saying? And like I gotta get up and like pick something else. Like then I'm gonna really be up type shit.
Come on, man.
Like I get it, man.
I had
Like,
NBA TV on a loop.
and I'm good. I don't even hear a word. For hours.
Charles Barkley just talking about rebounds. You don't
Bro,
give a fuck. You just
I've
like,
woken up to like loud ass movies, like that scene in Heat when everybody's just gunning at the end, and just been like, oh man, it's the middle of the night, like this shit is loud, and I didn't hear none of it. I just happened to like roll over and hear the fact that it was happening. I was like, wow, that's crazy, like that you just can't hear in your sleep.
right. This is crazy. Our ears ain't working. It's bugged out.
You know what
Wow.
the biggest jump scare when I was sleeping putting on a movie was Manchurian Candidate when Denzel hit the table. Wow. And
You're like, ah,
when Denzel hit the table, I go,
yo, yeah, nah.
I'm
I'm
awake. It's just me and Denzel in the room. I don't know why. Sleepy brain. I'm like, he's in here.
I slap a table.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
oh, shit.
Yeah,
my
I
fault.
heard. Yeah, it reminds you of falling asleep in church or falling asleep in
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fall
that-
asleep in church?
Yeah.
That pinch.
You're like, oh, what was that?
I
Twist.
Because I'm like, bro, we in the house of God, and you causing harm to me.
It's warm.
Yeah.
It's early.
Y'all are singing.
Yeah.
I don't understand what y'all talk about, man.
Yeah.
When they started breaking down the Bible and really reading it as a child, I'm like,
Like,
What are these words?
it's like, Grandma, I'm 8.
this
I don't know what's going on
Charles
here.
lessons, man. You're supposed to be learning like picture stuff, man.
Right. You giving out wine and bread and shit. I can't
I'm
have
breaking
none.
down.
yeah.
I mean, who? What? No.
Wine and bread is crazy.
Wine and bread is
They
crazy.
need
Yo,
a
y'all want me to drink blood? What does this mean?
What is y'all?
they need a kids menu with crayons.
Yeah.
For church?
But the Bible.
For church,
Right.
like
Right?
This is how you get this.
Sunday
this back.
school should be like from the jump. You shouldn't have to go to like adult church until you're an adult because it's too hard, man.
Yeah.
I need
I
pre-church.
remember I fell asleep one time. My mom made me stand up in the middle of the church for the rest of the service.
Damn.
Standing up, like everybody else sitting down. And like, everybody knew I was on punishment. So I'm just standing up while the preacher's talking. And the preacher just kept going.
Yeah, come on.
Yo,
Like,
Jesus
didn't
up there
notice,
like she
you
ain't
can sit
even
down, young man.
Yeah,
And he was just like, oh, they knew. They knew.
Yep.
You shouldn't have been sleeping.
You shouldn't have been sleeping.
Jesus up there like she ain't even have to do you
She
like
didn't have
that.
to do you
bro.
like
That's
that.
crazy.
Everybody,
That's
so
crazy.
I'm looking around at everybody, all the moms is like, that's what your ass did.
That's gonna be you. That's
Yeah.
Your punk ass. Then the crazy shit is that Mother's Day, he came home with a portrait of his mom with horns.
See?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
History repeats
Happens.
itself.
That's what happens, man.
Crazy, it's bugged out.
Yeah.
But yo, long career, bro. Everybody is thirsty for nostalgia. Like, talk to me about what you've seen in the industry as far as like what's changed, what's stayed the same. You know what I mean? Because like I haven't been in it as long as you, and I've seen like things that I'm like, yeah, damn. Like when I came in, it was like, yo, write a good show, get 200 episodes, get into syndication, and chill. And now that model is
retire.
completely fried.
People usually retire off of one show. Like you get one show that runs in the syndication, that's it. You know what I mean? Like you ain't really heard from
Fred T.
there's
Nelson.
no like besides like Norman Lear, there wasn't, after that era, there wasn't a whole bunch of people that was just like, no, I did Friends, Fresh Prince, this, that, and the other. Like, those are all my shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you just don't have to. And then all of a sudden, what's really important in life comes to play because most of those people are starting to be middle-aged. Sopranos dude only did kind of that and like a little bit of Boardwalk, but like in and out of Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, focus on the Sopranos, that was a run, that was it. Done. Good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So any like long version of that, like it's usually like a one and done kind of thing. The dynamics of like getting money has been the biggest change, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because shit used to be so abundant and now it's so tight in certain places.
Yeah.
You know, other places is just like, oh yeah, pump all the money into, you know, whatever type shit.
Yeah.
But then if you want to do like if you wanted to do the Goonies today, you know what I'm saying? And, which is like one of the most epic 80s joints there is.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't happen because you like, okay, explain it to me. Like how many locations and who's in it and blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of no names. Like, it's a different world out there.
Right, in a cave, and there's a
pirate ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risk taking on storytellers is
Yeah.
real tight. You know what I'm saying? But then you have, you know, people that are making like $4 million a month on OnlyFans kind of thing or whatever. So like there's money out there. It's just how it's being used basically is the biggest difference, I think.
Yeah.
And then, like you have a $400 million movie that they consider a flop because they made 300. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a $100 million loss at the end of the day.
Yeah.
No matter how much it cost or whatever and how much it made. Like it still made 300 million, you know what I'm saying? But they calling it an actual flop. Like the usage of that word and like wordage, you know what I mean, is a lot more like sinister, it feels like these days, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of people are just constantly waiting to take down giants or anybody that's on a pedestal or whatever kind of shit.
Yeah. I mean,
but at the same time, why would you spend $400 million on what? What are you spending $400 on? You know what I mean? I saw the movie, so I'm like, where exactly did
where did it go?
I mean, listen, Kenan, some people just don't have the numbers.
Right? These are the numbers. The numbers are in certain people's hands, and they're not willing to share it on all sorts of bases.
Yeah.
And it's even, it's tougher. Like, even when they have the Black Voices categories, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, well, all these projects look like they're under budget.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, how are we supposed to be gaining any sort of traction as far as, like, what's considered to be dope or cool at the end of the day? It's like, okay, yes, you let out a bunch of stories and, like, there's a bunch of projects that were shot, but, like, what was the real budget and who really did it and who was the pedigree on these things? You know what I'm saying? Like, Tyler Perry, like, I feel like his shit is just now getting tight. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it was like, you know,
a lot of shake and go wigs, bro.
You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. You know what I mean? So like, now it's like all his productions are like super thorough. You know what I mean? And it looks, you know, like you can put a Tyler Perry movie next to any other movie, and you can't tell if it doesn't say Tyler Perry Presents.
Yeah.
And like that's the level of, you know, equality that we are striving for, kind of thing. But equality means finance, you know what I mean? More so than anything, because it has to look a certain way, and then you have to be able to hire certain people that are good at what they do. That's why they're expensive. Taraji is expensive because she's good at what she does. Even though he's the one that's constantly paying her and elevating her a lot of the time. But, you know, when she does get an empire or something, or, you know what I mean, or whatever, she destroys it because she's fantastic. And she deserves to be expensive. Kiki should be one of the most expensive people out there.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
she
by a
does
long
everything.
shot. Word. So it's just, you know, a little more stringent in certain places, it feels like. But there's still ginormous things happening.
Yeah, I mean, Sinners is a great example. Like, people consider Sinners like a fluke or like some type of, you know what I mean, like a one-off. And it's like, nah, bro, like that's just what happens when you let an auteur create.
Like, I feel like Ryan is
a student in the game for real.
behind Spielberg as far as like highest grossing.
For sure.
And that's incredible.
Yeah.
Because he's done that in 5 movies. You know what I'm saying? Spielberg's got 30 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like if I had the same amount of like movie industry money that Sam Jackson had made, you know what I'm saying? Because like he's been in every $1 billion thing that ever has been. And then I came behind and like happened to be in like 4 or 5 choice joints that did the same amount of numbers, kind of shit. Like that's what's happening with Ryan Coogler. So he deserves that credit. Like these ain't flukes. That man is dope, and he knows what's appealing to his audiences, and you know all that kind of shit.
Real student in the game type shit too.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You can tell he's he enjoys what he does.
Dude, I
comes out.
watched his Criterion Closet video. And like all his choices were bangers, bro. Like this motherfucker, like it's like he knows, bro. He fucking knows. Like bro, one of his choices was Love and Basketball. I was like, yes, god damn it. I was like, that's how you know how to write a fucking love plot.
Shout out to Stan Lathan.
Yeah, man.
That's not like them for real.
No?
Yeah.
Big shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We live in a nostalgia world. I said it before. But you stay working. You stay with a job. You know, things have gotten tight.
Yeah.
But Kenan Thompson is still Kenan Thompson. Name rings bells, we stay with a job. Is there a world... Yeah, word. Yeah, blessings on blessings on blessings.
Yeah.
Is there a world where you've done it before, right? Good Burger 2 was like going back to like older material, older projects. Is there ones that you would want to do? And is there ones that you were like, nah, I'm not going back to that well. Like, that ship has sailed. I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that at this age or at this
the only one
career.
is... The only I guess, and like is Fat Albert only because it belongs so closely to Bill, you know what I mean? And like that's the only one where I can see it just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So like getting your hopes up about it is just like, don't even waste your time kind of shit.
Right.
Because like that is completely his baby, you know what I'm saying? So without him, like what's even the point? You know what I'm saying? So like we got what we got, and like it was a good experience, you know what I mean? Because it was before all the chaos. And like when people watch it, they feel good. When kids watch it, to this day, they tell me they feel it's a colorful movie. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It looks like Paw Patrol. Like so I understand. I get it. It's a happy ass, and we had so much fun making it. You know what I mean? So it's a very proud memory for me because we were all close and we were all, you know, paying honor to and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the cast was wild.
The
like
cast was
Kenan, Marcus, Houston, like you know what I'm saying? Like it was a phenomenal.
Look, Kyla, shout out to Kyla, shout out to Danya. Yeah, man.
Shout out the whole cast of Fat Albert. But yo, the funny thing that you said that it reminded me of something that Victor said is like a lot of people that be like, yo, I like movies. I'm a cinephile. And it's just like, yo, bro, you just like bright colors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you just put this movie in black and white, it's not nothing spectacular, bro. You just like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's trash that they're playing around in. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, any of it. Like, I understand the arguments of like, you know, Hollywood doesn't have any original stories or whatever kind of shit. It's like, that's not really the case. It's just like, it's harder to find them. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you'll look at them and be like, how many times you look at your cable guide or even like any streamer that you're on, you see titles you don't recognize, you don't hyper focus on them. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something that everybody's talking about, like a Sinners or whatever, then you could like dive into it. But when you just scroll past and like, what the fuck is, you know, what is, and you just, what is this, what is this, what is this, what is this? You're never gonna like, just engage it necessarily. And a lot of things are just sitting up there that nobody's seen.
It lends itself to like decision fatigue too. Like when you
100%.
when you have too many options, you end up choosing nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if somebody, you know what? I want a streaming service. Listen, we're gonna have the numbers. All right, listen now, Kenan, listen. A streaming service, you log in every single day.
Yep.
There are exactly two options.
Two options.
You pick one, you watch that. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. We got it.
Cancel anytime, but this is it. This
is it right here. That's right.
That's actually kind of genius.
Right, yeah.
Monumental.
Yo, that's brilliant.
There's because what am I
There's
doing?
versions of that. I guess like drive-ins will do that when they start showing nostalgia movies or whatever, and they'll be like, "This is only these are the times that this is happening twice a week."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you don't catch it, then you just won't be watching A League of Their Own this week. I guess.
In your house,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm glad we came because I love this movie.
And if it rains, no Joanna Man.
No Joanna Man. You don't get no Joanna Man.
You're not gonna get Joanna Man. It's not gonna happen.
You know?
There's no crying in baseball.
So between that and I guess the war on the movie theaters is kind of like the bigger difference. Like same thing in the music business. This is the war on streaming. You know what I mean? Like just the digitization of what we do type shit is the biggest change.
Yeah. But how do you feel being involved in SNL, which is like an institution in and of itself that sort of stands apart from the ever-changing
TV.
landscape of television, or
Very
what
lucky,
our
man,
concept of
because-
television even is.
Yeah, very lucky because like I've grown up with actor friends and like I have a lot of different cats that are like out here navigating in different ways. You know what I mean? And I'm always intrigued by how they figure it out. I mean, it's a community. They all like are talking to each other, so everybody knows like, all right, Vine is hot now, or this is hot now, or that's hot now. But you have to go do something to it. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of motherfuckers is got a lot of like self kind of motivation kind of shit, which I admire a lot. Like I've been in a bubble for 22 years. You know what I'm saying? Of not really having to over focus on trends necessarily to stay relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm in your house every weekend. You know what I'm saying? When like people ask me,
Kenan
like,
Thompson.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, we gotta hit one of those.
Yeah. It's interesting for you. It's like, and Kenan Thompson. But you are the most.
Let me do a few. Radio Ovalle. Lizbel Ortiz.
Yeah. You gotta hit one of these. Say the Radio Maya again.
Rainey Ovalle. That's the illest shit. I want that dude narrating my life, bro. I want him to announce me every time I walk into a restaurant, a house.
Man, rest in peace, Don Pardo, man. That dude was one of the greatest.
Legend, Don Pardo.
He was an absolute legend because Don was in there when it was radio. You know what I mean? He used to be one of the voices on television, on the radio, basically. Like the original like broadcasting of sound, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like he was there in that building.
Yeah. He was there when you had to sound like that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
When this was the radio voice.
Yeah.
And I think it might have like became his persona because like even off stage it was like, how you feeling, Kenan? I'm like, hey man, you really talk like that.
Yeah.
What you say, bud?
Yeah, he's
Always
like,
on.
Is that quinoa?
Yeah. Quinoa was one of my favorites. Oh, all right.
yeah. He's like Bizarro E40.
Yeah.
Imagine E40. Imagine E40.
Or normal E40, yeah.
Yeah, normal E. Yeah. Ooh, we got Kenan Thompson, y'all.
Shout out to the Bay.
Shout out to the
Shout out
Bay.
to
Hey, for
40
real,
Water.
you know what I mean?
Shout out to all of them,
Shout out
man.
to Earl Stevens,
Chaz. Shout out to all that good 40 Water music, man.
Yeah, dog.
Shout out to Too Short.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
bless
man.
him.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, rest in peace, Mac Dre.
Yo, shout out to Bay.
That's what we need more of, you know what I mean? Like, just shouting each other out. You know, like I understand like there's a new hip hop beef happening and like East
Every
Coast,
week.
West Coast is going in, you know what I mean? Kind of
Again?
thing. And it's like, it's good back and forth and it's like, all right, as long as y'all keep it like, you know,
Keep it hip hop.
inspiring to each other to write better and all of that. Like, it's not just, dissing for dissing sake, then great. But at the same time, we all know like feelings get stepped on and, things escalate or whatever. So it's hard to navigate, you know what I mean? Because like, these kids are living in such a turmoil, tumultuous world as it is, kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like, embrace the community that's right in front of you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need each other probably pretty soon.
Very soon, man. We do a segment on this show where we ask our esteemed guests to give us a conspiracy theory that they really believe wholeheartedly. It's called the tinfoil fitted segment. You know what I'm saying?
Tinfoil
You put the
fits.
tinfoil fitted on to protect your head from the 5Gs.
From the 5G rays,
rays. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, dilate your third eye.
It is supremely uncomfortable, by the way.
Yeah. It's sharp. That's some sharp foil.
It's like Blood Diamond, but like, podcast version.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
Blood Diamond on YouTube.
Yeah,
starring Kenan Thompson. So, a conspiracy theory that you believe or that you find interesting enough to say, you know what? There might be something behind that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them. Like I read these, theories, a lot of different theories on a lot of different things. One of the most intriguing. I'm when people chime in on, I hear the comments already. He's a fucking idiot, blah blah blah. He shouldn't be. But I was reading about the OJ case, and then this one cop wrote this book about OJ's oldest son being the actual person.
I heard
That one, it was just like, because I read through it pretty intriguing, and I've always been enamored by the stalemate of it all. It's
Right.
like, yo, if y'all got him cold turkey, you got him cold turkey. What's the problem? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know, it just, number one, a jury acquitted, and then number two,
Love ain't fit.
you know, he was just never, like, something about the retrial, like, once you've been acquitted or something, you can't try it again.
You can't be tried for the same crime twice.
You know what I mean? So, like, that's why it's a theory, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, but listening to that, I'm like, that's pretty interesting. There was a lot of facts in there, like his hat, like his Navy shit or whatever from his knife, like Navy issue knife having like a little skull crusher is what they call it. You know, I don't want to get too like graphic or whatever, but like those kind of wounds had shown up on victims and like just that like how it all went down to where if he didn't do it, how would he even be like finger pointed as a witness seeing him there, like all these like breakdowns, you know what I mean? And I'm like, as a parent listening to this version of the story, like if my son came home and admitted to me these things, would I go to that scene and see and like explain the timing of it and shit? Like there was a lot of little details where I was just like, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go with the other OJ conspiracy theory, which is Khloe Kardashian is his daughter.
Oh my God.
Oh, man, that one has its own sub-conspiracy where it was like some makeup dude. So I was just like, all right, I'll let that go.
I'll let that one go.
Yeah.
This
This
is too many layers of
That's their
tiramisu.
personal business, and I wish them well. You know what I mean? And like blah, blah, blah. And Khloe's, she's a sweet girl. You know what I mean? Like she seems to be like the nice one kind of shit a lot of the time.
Kim, people are dying.
You know?
Well, that was Courtney.
That was Courtney.
That was Courtney.
Damn, I gave it to Khloe. Damn, that was Courtney, my fault.
Like she seemed to be the one that's like really trying to like fit in, be in, you know what I mean? Like, so like, yeah, I let that one go. But that OJ shit was wild, bro. Like I was like, that's interesting.
See, now you got me, now I'm gonna jump down a
No,
YouTube wormhole.
Yup. YouTube rabbit holes. As soon as I get home.
Yeah.
As soon as I get home, I'll be
Yeah,
like,
I mean, read up on it. I mean, I could be sounding like an idiot because somebody would be like, well, DNA evidence came back and it was like, you would never.
Nobody
deflect from
nobody
that.
could fuck with you.
You know what I mean?
Because we've
Like
heard some shit.
DNA will tell you down to the micro 1/1,000th of it. It's gotta be. And I'm like, all right. And then I also heard like if anyone's DNA was within those parameters, it would be your firstborn child.
That's how every Law and Order SVU ends.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And this is how Victory Lane ends. Motherfucker.
A victory light.